Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we are joined by Lauren. You remember her from the last video. If you don't, go back and watch it. Make sure you watch that first. Today we're going to look at how to reach out to any influencer for basically any reason. So if you like that sort of video, make sure you are subscribed, your notifications turned on. Let's get into the video straight away. For those of people that don't know you, please can you give them a little bit of an idea about who you are?
100%. So my name is Lauren Tickner. I'm a 21-year-old entrepreneur helping other people build their personal brand, and I also help brands work with influencers. So I've been working in influencer marketing for quite a long time. I hate calling myself it, but I am sometimes classed as an influencer. Only for the purpose of the fact that I am involved in some influencer marketing campaigns. So for example, I will do brand deals and I will promote their product in return for shout outs on my Instagram, YouTube, and all that stuff. So today we're going to be talking about influencer marketing and how you can work with influencers in order to help you build your brand and to get not only exposure, because exposures are great and amazing, but also sales. You know, you want to be choosing people who can convert sales, because there are so many influencers out there who have a great reach. Yeah, there's influencers with a great reach, but they can't necessarily sell, and what's the point in that? So that's what we're going to talk about.
Exactly. And cat vlog. Do like cats. Anyway, so that's really important. So the reason why this is important for you guys is that if you're looking to create the kind of passive income, if you want to build your brand, then it doesn't matter if it's your personal brand or your like a physical product brand or a digital product brand. It doesn't really matter what it is. Leveraging social media is so important, and that's how you stand out, because companies all the time are leveraging social media. So, you know, if you don't do it, then you're kind of shooting yourself in. You're getting left behind. You are getting left behind. The big question is, that a lot of people ask, is how do I actually reach out to people, and what's the kind of, how do I do it? What's the operating procedure, right? Okay, so what works and what doesn't work?
Yeah, so from an influencer perspective, it's really bloody annoying when you get an email from a brand and they obviously haven't looked into you as a person. So I'll give you an example. I started building my personal brand in the fitness industry. Now I help, like I said, people when it comes to online business mainly, and also personal branding. But basically, I used to always get these skinny teas reaching out to me, despite the fact that I had literally made videos talking about why skinny teas are stupid. So these brands obviously hadn't looked into me, and that's annoying. And I get you can't possibly look into every single person to such a great degree, but it's important to know their morals and have actually done a bit of research into them. So make sure that you're doing that, and make sure that they fit your brand, because here's the thing, here's a really good example. So let's just say this skinny tea person, right? You could go to the biggest influencer with like 5 million followers on Instagram, or you could go to an account with 50,000 followers who always talks about the importance of detoxing and actually like talks about that specific topic. You're gonna be way better off going to the smaller micro influencer, because not only are they gonna have a smaller budget, but they're also going to have a more engaged audience for that particular topic. So this is where it's important to choose influencers who are really targeted for your niche. Now, I can't believe I just gave that example and I'm actually supporting that industry. I feel really ashamed right now, but that's just an example, and that's what I really want to get at here. Like, why go for the biggest influencers just because they have so many followers? They probably can't convert sales, because
what sort of questions can you ask the people? So you message them. Is there a best medium to message someone?
Okay, so email them. You need to email them. A lot of times influencers will have agents. I would advise trying to find influencers who don't have agents. Now, you know this because if an influencer, for example, let's just say in my Instagram bio, I've got my email address, which is lauren@impactthroughinfluence.com. Okay, so that is, my business is Impact Through Influence. Whereas like if an influencer in their bio had like lauren@somethingmanagement.com, you know that they've got a manager. The same thing is like on Instagram, you can click email, and if it pops up to an email address, which is obviously a management company, don't contact these influencers, because you're gonna have to go through management. Management always bumps up the price to at least double of what you would have wanted to have paid. So go for influencers who don't have managers. So that's the most important thing. Email them. Then what I would advise you do is you send them a direct message saying, hey, by the way, I just sent you an email, and then comment on their most recent post saying, hey, I just sent you a direct message, please go check it out. So that means you have 3 touch points with them, 3 opportunities for them to see your message. And like I said, I think it's really important in this initial email to explain really briefly what your business is, because influencers, I mean, I have a different perspective on this because I class myself as more of an entrepreneur than an influencer, but most influencers don't know really much about business, and they also are very lazy when it comes to reading their emails, so they don't want to read these emails. If you literally, you have to make it so appealing to them, so you say, hey, in the title, put like how much value the opportunity is, like $500 opportunity, because that's like a hook. People are like, yes, clickbait, I want that. So $500 opportunity, and then hey Lauren, like, I just wanted to get in contact with you about a $500 opportunity about my new tripod that I'm selling. I've noticed that you speak about cameras all the time, you're a vlogger, have absolutely loved your content. In particular, I really enjoyed this video that you made. So make it really obvious that you've actually looked into some of their content, because if not, then it's just like another one of those copy and pasted emails. You want to set yourself apart and stand out to make it so that the influencer is more likely to actually reply. And then you can basically say, here's what we're looking for, I am willing to negotiate. That is so key, because look, if you're saying, here's what I'm looking for an Instagram post where you copy and paste this caption, like, no influencer who is a good influencer is going to do that, okay? If somebody was to tell me, Lauren, here's the caption I want you to post, here's the photo I want you to post, I would literally be like, screw yourself, I want creative control, because that's the beauty of an influencer. Like, they have a connection with their audience, and they like to have creative control over their posts because they know what is gonna work best for their audience. Like, I've been offered huge sums of money to post and pose in a particular way for a particular brand with a particular hashtag and particular caption style, but I just turn it down because I don't want to, like, no amount of money, or like, for me anyway personally, but for some influencers they may be more willing to push over on this, but like for me personally, no amount of money is gonna kind of persuade me to do something that's against my morals. Or if I'm having to post a random pretty much stock photo, it's the photo that you've taken for your brand on my page, like, it just looks spammy and crappy. So allow the influencer to have the creative control. I think that's really important. And tell them, look, you have full creative control over the type of image you post, but we have to check it first. So make sure that the influencer sends you back the post and the caption that they're gonna post. Also, in your contract with them, make sure to have a contract with them. Make sure that you say that the post has to go up like between these days, for example 3rd of July to 5th of July, and it has to be at peak time, that you can't post any other photos or videos within that 24 hours.
Interesting, yeah, I like that.
So just set boundaries, and then yeah, I think that I covered a lot there.
Yeah, you did, yeah. Very, very useful. I learned a lot actually. Now, when I know that the question that a lot of people will be asking is, how much should I pay? How much should I offer to pay? Is there like a rule of thumb, or?
It really varies. So like I said, you want to be choosing influencers. Like I really think that choosing micro influencers, now this varies obviously depending on the niche as well, because some niches who there aren't many, there maybe aren't very many influencers within that niche. Basically they might be like super well known. For example, if it's like, I can't even think of a random niche right now, think of something random.
Trees.
Let's say you're teaching donkeys how to do backflips.
Nice.
If there's one influencer who always talks about donkeys, who has 10,000 followers, that's a macro influencer within that niche, right? So this person is like the go-to person. So you don't always, you want to go for like the go-to person within your targeted niche. So if you're trying to sell tripods, then you want to maybe sell someone who always talks about tripod reviews.
Totally.
Just someone who's really targeted. But I think the thing is, like, there is no rule of thumb, and it's a case where it's like it is bartering and it is a bit of guesswork. Honestly, like, it's just shooting in the dark pretty
see what
much.
happens.
I know personally, like, what I go for on my Instagram, like, it really varies, but my starting point is kind of like it's like CPM. So CPM is like cost per mil, so cost per 1,000 followers. At the moment, I basically, let's say I have like 128,000 followers on Instagram, then I'd charge around £1,200 per post. However, if I have to literally like go and make, and they're asking specifically for a video, and I'm gonna have to like get a videographer, and I'm gonna have to like get the videographer to edit it, and I'm gonna have to go on a day out to do this whole thing, like I might charge more, right? So it really depends. Like if it's something easy for me to execute, then I'm gonna charge less. Whereas if it's something that's effort for me to execute, then I'm gonna charge more. It's just like any work. The more time that it takes, the more you're gonna charge. But it really varies. I can't give you a strict guideline.
What about
go in lower?
I would say, what about negotiation? Do you think generally influencers don't know how to negotiate? Could that be potentially, because you said about most people maybe not being business minded?
Yeah, most influencers don't know how. They'll literally just say no right away. That's why I think as a brand it's important to say that you're willing to negotiate and compromise, and not only on the budget but also on like how much creative control the influencer gets. Like I have always, like people of all my friends and like my influencer friends, like they come to me asking me for help for this type of thing, because like I know how to do it really well from a fair perspective from both parties, because I understand it from the business's point of view and I also understand it from the influencer's point of view. But like I think that it is very possible to negotiate as an influencer, and the same thing goes, like what I'll often do is when a brand contacts me, I'll say, I can't do that story, but here's what I can do instead. Basically what you can do as an influencer or as a brand is you can downsell them. So I know you people will understand what I mean here, but basically if the influencer says, no, I can't do an Instagram post for this, say, okay, well instead how about we do some Instagram stories for this lower price? And so yeah, that's the way to negotiate. You can negotiate in many different ways, different deliverables. I think that it's just important to look at it from both perspectives. So
yeah, kind of have like empathy for what they're going through.
It's their business too, right? Like, and I think don't be rude. I've had it where some brands have turned around and they've just been so rude. I think especially not trying to be mean to like e-commerce people, but because like I have e-commerce stores as well, so I get it. But like e-commerce people can be extremely rude and short and blunt, and like that's not okay. You have a business as well, and act like a business person. Like be professional. Exactly.
Okay, so if anyone wants to, I know we can't go through everything. In like a 10-minute video.
Sure.
Yeah, ask some questions down below, but also how can they find out more about this sort of stuff?
This sort of stuff, yeah. I mean, I think I might do a podcast on it. I have a podcast called the Millennial Air Podcast, but I'm starting to speak more and more about this type of stuff on my YouTube channel. So it's just my name, Lauren Tickner, and then Instagram at Lauren Tickner as well. Cool.
I'll definitely link both of those down below.
Thank you.
But also you do have a full course as well.
Yes.
So if people are interested in finding out more about that, I'll put the link down below as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. So that's more of a personal branding course. So it's like a 12-month program for people to build and monetize their personal brand. But I think anybody who, like, I mean, anybody who is doing any sort of business now, the power of a personal brand is something that I think people should seriously be thinking about. And within the program, I actually kind of teach people how to get brand deals. So it's really interesting, I suppose, to look at it from being the other perspective. Yeah, like I think it's super valuable for business owners. Really, it really is. So I hope this has been insightful for you all watching today.
Absolutely. Make sure you go click all the links, because if you don't, then I'm unsubscribing from you.
Oh, that means he's gonna start making videos.
I'll start making videos, yeah. No, but yeah, make sure you go do that. Any questions for Lauren? Just again, make sure you leave them down below. I'm sure there will be questions. So like I said, just like on the last video, just hang around for a couple of days and just ask any questions, and Lauren will answer them. Thank you very much for Lauren for having me here in this lovely tree, and for doing the content for you guys. We might do another video. I don't really know, but if you guys want it, let us know.
Let us know.
Smash the thumbs up. Thank you, Lauren. Anything else?
That is all. Over and out.
See you later. Bye-bye.